Today I visit with artist Julie Campbell from Jefferson City, Missouri. We're at the Lamey's building, the old, shall we say, jean factory back in the 20s, 30s on up. So I'd like to invite you to join us. I'm Rick J, and this is Spotlight on the Arts.
Rick J presents Spotlight on the Arts.
Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. Coming to you once again from the Lamey's building here in Sedalia, Missouri. I'd like to, if you would, join me in welcoming artist Julie Campbell from Jefferson City, Missouri. Julie, it's great to have you here with us today. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
When you approached me and wanted to be and share your story. I guess we met at some point recently, and I look forward to turning the spotlight on you today. So welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to start the interview with asking you, if you would, to tell us a little bit about Julie Campbell.
Well, I was born in Blair, Nebraska. I lived in a small town called Washington, Nebraska, and I lived there until I was in about the 5th, 6th grade. Then we moved to a small town in Iowa, Dunkerton, Iowa, and I graduated from high school at Dunkerton. I went to Northwest Missouri State University up in Maryville for a couple of years. And then I transferred to University of Missouri down in Columbia, and I went to vet school, so I'm a veterinarian.
Oh, are you a veterinarian?
Yeah.
A licensed veterinarian?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's interesting. That is great. Wow.
And then
I didn't realize
I
that.
had a practice for a little over 20 years up in Liberty, Missouri.
Yes.
And then just recently moved to Jeff City.
Oh, excellent. And you know, Jeff City is such a great little town. Well, that's great to share that with you. Now, do you have this is a good time to say hi to family and friends if you want to take time out for that also?
Yeah.
Associates, whatever.
Yeah, we moved down to Jefferson City to be closer to my brother and sister-in-law and my niece and nephew. So.
Oh, super, super. Well, I can identify with Liberty, being from Kansas City myself, and then associated a little bit with the Kansas City Chiefs when they come to town. I started youth football and they're in South Kansas City, and the Chiefs helped me. So from Mr. Lanier on down, so it takes me back a ways. Well, this is your first time here on Spotlight on the Arts. I've been looking forward to it, as I said before. Can you share with us how you really became interested to become an artist?
I enjoyed artwork ever since I was in high school. I did take art classes in high school, and so it's just something that I enjoyed. You know, with being a veterinarian, I kind of had to put it on the back burner and and now that I'm only doing my veterinary medicine part-time, I'm looking forward to starting to do more of my artwork.
Oh, excellent. And your art speaks well for you. We're going to share a lot of that art on the timeline as we're chatting here this afternoon. Well, can you tell me if there's anyone that really inspired you at some point to become an artist or become interested? Sometimes grandmothers take a hold, or a teacher, or whatever.
Actually, one of my clients, she was an artist.
She was an artist also. Excellent, excellent. Well, then, what now continues to inspire you, shall we say, to get on this new path as an artist and sharing your work throughout Missouri?
Well, I enjoy working with with animals. So it's just natural for me to who want to, explore, drawing and painting. I have also participated in several plein air events through the area, and that has been an interesting experience for me.
Well, I know we have some artwork here on the mantle today, and we're going to talk about a couple of your favorites. So that'll be in the second part of the show. So stay with us for that. Again, before time gets away from us, can you give us your contact information in case someone would like maybe to talk to you about a commission or for more information? Where are you showing your art, etc.?
Right now, I'm just mainly, doing exhibitions, mostly through Capital Arts. I am a member of the Jefferson City Art Club, as well as a board member for the Capital Arts.
I see.
Committee.
So you're at Capital Arts, and that's in Jefferson City?
Yeah, in Jefferson City. So mostly that's what I'm doing now. I don't have a website right now. I haven't really set up a business yet. But you can reach me at bridg.pax@gmail.com.
That's bridget.pax@gmail.com.
Yes.
Oh, great. That's super. It's great that you're getting in the groove, shall we say, is in a record shop here. Josie's Record Shop is where we're filming, so let's say into the groove. As an old DJ broadcast announcer, I guess I can't resist that term once in a while. So it's good that you are involved with the Jefferson City Art Club and Capital Arts. They're on Missouri Boulevard, I believe, next to now the Kentucky Fried Chicken, which went up about 3 years ago. So that's a good, and that they have some excellent shows. Now, being on the show, that I invite for my own show called Call for Nature's Art at the Runge Conservation Nature Center with the Department of Conservation here in Missouri. They're in Jefferson City. So I've invited Julie as a guest to be part of that show, along with 51 other artists. So I thank you for displaying, and I invite everyone to come out. That's December through, actually started last Tuesday of this week, and then it'll go till December 31st. So that's at the Runge Conservation Nature Center, which is great trails and excellent displays of animals and what have you. So thanks for becoming a part of that exhibit. Well, let's see, I guess we're about time to take a break. So if you would, please make yourself comfortable, and we'll take a look at these couple special messages, if you would, Julie. So after the break, Julie will fill us in on her favorite subject matter, her materials used, and her special way of maybe starting and completing a project. And maybe she'll share a couple maybe techniques with you that she's found that might also help you along the way in your completing a project. So stay with us. There's much more here on Spotlight on the Arts. welcome back to Spotlight on the Arts. I continue our conversation with artist Julie Campbell out of Jefferson City, Missouri. Well, before the break, Julie, we shared a lot of information, so let's continue along those lines of thought and expression. I'd like to ask you, please describe your type of art and how that came about with your skills considered.
Well, mostly because of my love for animals. My grandfather had a dairy farm, so I spent a lot of time out at the dairy farm. And I just enjoyed being around animals, so it was just something that naturally fit for me to pursue more of an art with the animals. I like more of a realistic version of the art with the animals. And so that's mainly how I started. Being in a rural area like I was, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for art supplies, so I did start originally doing pastels, and that's just something that I've always continued to do. So most of my artwork is in the soft pastels or the pastel pencils.
No, that's not the oil base. That's the soft pastels.
The soft pastels,
And
yeah, the more the
difference
chalk pastels, yeah.
of the chalk pastels.
Yeah.
And when you do a pastel, how do you treat those from, I guess, losing the chalk?
The pastel pencils don't have as much of a chalk, so they don't flake off quite as easily as the pastel chalk pieces. They have a tendency to be a little bit more. Also, recently they've come out with what's called pastel matte paper, which really helps to pull in the pastels.
It grabs the pastel.
And it also allows you to do several layers
layering
on the pastel, which is important for pastel artwork.
Oh, I see.
And so it allows you to do that to where you can get more of a layering effect to show the fur.
Show the fur or the form of the
wrinkles.
Layer in different values. It shows form, yes, and the hair naturally. Now, these paintings over my shoulder and your shoulder, are these pencil pastel?
The two on the outside, those are pastels.
The elephant and
the horse with the little girl.
The little girl riding the book.
Yeah, those are both pastels. The first one was one that I did. The one with the girl, I created that one when I was in high school.
Oh, excellent.
And then the elephant was a couple of years ago. And then the middle one is actually oil painting. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And on wood base. On a barn board, yeah. Barn board wood base. Yeah. Like I say, your artwork really speaks well of you, and I'm so happy to see it, and especially the one you have at the Run Center. That is also great. Well, your favorite subject matter would be animals or life experience, consider with your niece or nephew and around the children and stuff. But I can see where you definitely would be locked into animals and what they present, expressions, what have you. Well, can you step us through the process of completing a project? Do you go out and just look at an animal? Do you prepare a sketch first or a couple sketches? How does that work? Usually I will pick a subject that I want to decide I want to draw. Sometimes I will take it from actual pictures that I have taken. And then I will add the background, things like that from another picture, and I'll combine pictures. Combine pictures. To get a good composition. Yes. And then usually with the pastels anymore, I'm using the pastel matte paper. Oh, excellent. Because it just allows you to put a lot of different layers onto the... Yeah, the more layers, the more form, the more... It's almost like a sculpture with clay. As long as you shapes and forms. That's why I do a lot of layering. They'll say, how do you get such realism? I said, because it's layering of different values to show a curvature of, like,
for a horse leg, your darks to light, wherever lights, and maybe a little layer on top for a highlight, because anything underneath still comes through your lighter color. So you had a brown leg and a little bit of a white on top of that, then it looks more three-dimensional, I guess you could say. So. Oh, I see. So you do start with a sketch and different photographs. Well, is there one technique or process you'd like to share with the viewers worldwide? What would that be?
Mostly the technique is that with pastels you do have to do a lot of layering, and that is something that I learned, over time. Is that to get the definition you do, and to get the different, especially with the animals' fur is not going to look the same color throughout the whole body. So to layer it gives you more definition, gives you more depth in the picture.
Right, that's a great term, definition. And I see that. I love oils. I paint with oils. And even there, we've got different oil paints that you can start with a dark, and then you've got a lighter color, or you dilute it down somewhat, and then you layer and layer, let it dry, layer. The more layers seem like the more realistic they look, So I follow you. And I'm glad, even with your pen. Now, let's go back to oils. What do you feel about oils? How do you feel about them? Do you find them difficult? I've heard people say challenging, difficult.
That is actually the only oil painting I did. I'm actually looking at doing more watercolors.
I see.
And the oils actually, to me, were easier than the watercolors. Watercolors, they have a tendency to do what they want to do.
That's what
and you don't sometimes have a lot of control.
Yes, exactly, control. That's why interviewing other artists, the watercolors, I used to think oils would be hard, 30 years ago or so. But then it comes to watercolors, then who's in control?
Yep.
But some of the effect that you get from watercolors is just awesome, Well, I ask you to talk about one of your favorite pieces you'd like to speak about. Is it one of those here with us?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about that, how it originated,
there's a couple. There's two of them here that I liked. The horse picture. Actually, I did do a pastel drawing of the horse picture when I was in high school. And again, that was done when I was in high school. And it ended up going on a touring exhibit for 4-H around the state of Iowa.
Oh, wow.
So that's the one that I enjoy.
So that the original and this one, it hits home, takes you back a few years.
Yeah.
And your second?
My second would be the elephant.
Oh, yes. He's very well defined.
When I was in vet school as a student, I did 2-month internship at the Henry Dorley Zoo up in Omaha.
I see.
And I shadowed the veterinarians up at the zoo.
Oh, I see.
And so we worked with the elephants.
Oh, excellent.
And I just fell in love with them.
Oh, they're so humanistic, aren't they?
Yeah.
The brains and the caring and the attention they give you, they love it back.
Yeah.
So I've never been around them, but I see so much. After a while, you're working with animals, and horses, you learn that they have these feelings that they'll give back as much as you give them.
Yeah.
Unless they start out in a bad way and get a bad start. But so that as a veterinarian,
yeah.
How they love back. So that's great. Well, I guess I could ask you about the Call for Nature's Art exhibit. Have you been able to get back and see the exhibit at all?
No, I looked around. I did see some of the pictures that were there when I dropped my picture off.
You're in great company, that's for sure.
It looked like it was going to be real interesting. And that picture was actually of a picture that I had taken. It was an owl that I took care of when I was in vet school.
Oh, I see.
I was in the raptor rehabilitation project.
Oh, excellent.
And so.
So there's the story. Now we have on December 2nd, 2023, give the date away. We have what we call a meet and greet the artists. So December 2nd from 10 to noon, you'll be able to meet me personally, and hopefully you can also be with us that day, Julie. Also, I'm giving away a beautiful rosewood plaque for the People's Choice Award, and also a nice gift and a money form for the People's Choice Award. So I invite you to come anytime, but especially I'd love to meet you on December 2nd of this year. Meet me personally and some of the other artists that are able to come that Saturday. And vote for your favorite piece. Not so much the artist, but for the piece. Because a lot of people come, they don't know the artist. But you have a chance December 2nd to come really and meet us all that are available that day. Well, Julie, we're about to run out of time. Do you have any closing words you'd like to pass on to the viewers worldwide looking at the camera?
Mostly that just to, enjoy what you're doing and not give up. It may be something that you have to take, like I did, take a short break from it. But if it's something that you enjoy, continue to pursue your enjoyment and be willing to, take other things, as they come. Like I said, I'm mostly pastel work, but now that I am starting to get into watercolor, and I've also looked at possibly starting to do carving, gourd carving, that as well. So just never give up on your dream.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, that sounds very inspiring. At times we hit lulls as an artist, and we need inspiration to pick up and to get started again. So it's very inspiring to hear those words from you, Julie, today. Well, Ms. Campbell, I want to thank you once again for contributing to Spotlight on the Arts. It's been really inspiring, as I said a second ago, to visit with you today, and actually informational, educational for that meeting, and a great experience, I'm sure, for everyone. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you again. Well, that wraps up another great look at an inspiring interview here. An artist, Julie Campbell, out of Jefferson City, Missouri, here on Spotlight on the Arts. Thank you, viewers, for watching. And I ask you also not only to tune in to YouTube, but I have a streaming network that is linked to Roku and Apple TV and also Fire TV. So owning my own streaming network now, so we do go worldwide with these interviews. And I interview all types of artists, directors, producers of movies, entertainers, a young man from General Hospital, musicians. So I hope you'll look at GIJ, Global Media OTT Network. And I'll give you the link below to go ahead and take a look. Also, we have a free channel, VFF. That's View for Free at GIJ Plus. So I'd like to say thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Saying, see you next time. Be healthy and safe. Bye now.
Creative, connection, control. Support the arts and be the change. 24 hours a day, 200 countries. The show must go on. Introducing the world's first exclusive platform for artists and creators of all kinds. The biggest stage on earth.
Stream Spotlight on the Arts on fanforme.com. Stream Spotlight on the Arts on GIAJ, Global Media OTT Network. Google us or find us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV.
Hi, I'm Rick J.
And I'm Jeffrey Pernell.
And we're here to introduce you to
GIAJ Global Media OTT Network.
Hope you'll tune in.
Tune in and watch all these great shows by independent producers, music, and film, and podcasts.
Roku,
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV,
and or Google us on GIAJ Global Media Network.
Get your free download now. Thank you.